Street lighting. So many people take it for granted, yet without the work of the people who maintain the service, our way of life would be very different. This video will look in some detail at the electrical work involved in the maintenance of overhead street lighting. The second video will cover best practice in the areas of underground pot ending, core cutting and service extensions. Naturally, there are differences in overhead and underground working, but common to both is a safety-first, professional approach, where the work is carried out efficiently and without unforeseen problems. The DOE and NIE have collaborated in the production of these videos to ensure that best practice and safety is maintained. Today's job is one which is very commonplace, replacing existing lanterns on wood poles with isolation boxes to comply with electricity at work regulations, along with the fitting of new lanterns. The work begins in the foreman's office, where work instructions are issued. It's a time to ask yourself a number of questions. Am I authorised to do the work?
Sammy, could I see your authorisation for working on NIE lines, please? That's dead on, thank you.
Your card, which should be up to date, will confirm this. Again, thinking of safety, is your partner available, and is he safety trained? Remember, live working must always be a two-man operation.
Need just to check the tools, lads, before you leave, and there's the 2 sheets.
And what about the equipment? Are the tools the right specification for the job? And are the safety gloves date-stamped and valid? Once you're completely satisfied, load up and begin the journey.
Everything's in order there.
That's grand.
When you arrive at the site, the first thing to do is to check that this is indeed the correct location. A map, a street name and the light number will confirm this. As the job involves live working, it's particularly important to check that no NIE personnel are working on the system. There are also occasions when it's not safe to work. Today, conditions are fine, and there's plenty of time to place cones and warning signs around the site in accordance with Chapter 8 requirements to ensure the safety of the public. And when you arrive at a site, you must carry out a risk assessment. The pole itself should be sound. Carry out a visual test, looking for signs of decay. Then do a hammer test in a spiral formation right around the pole, followed by a probe test. Not very high-tech, but effective nonetheless. After putting on appropriate personal protective equipment, you should attempt to isolate the system by pulling fuses and fitting caution notices, but only if the street light is fed from a DOE mini-pillar or wood pole control box. This is the ideal way to work. Even if you do this, it's still essential to treat the system as live, unless it's proven otherwise. That said, pulling fuses rarely happens, and in most cases, you'll be operating on a live system. Before you ascend, remove all loose metallic jewellery and check all PPE. Rubber gloves and your harness should always be checked for defects before use. Check that you have the right tools for the job and assess the work to be carried out. Now you can ascend to the position. As you ascend, wearing a safety harness and PPE equipment, keep an eye out for obstructions such as branches or interference from other lines, anything that can restrict your access. conductor. Fit the new lantern onto the bracket and wire up. Fit the fuse and test the photocell. Record the results on the phone. Finally confirm that the lantern is working. The electrical work is now complete. All that's left to do is descend, stow away the tower wagon boom, clear up the site and record the work done. Sometimes a supervisor would check both the work done and your notes. Finally, before moving to a new site, make sure that all signs and bollards have been recovered. As you've just seen, there are many different aspects of the job, and if you're unsure of any aspect, then rewind the video. If you're still unsure, then ask your supervisor. Your safety and the safety of others is always the prime concern. Following these instructions should allow you to work in a rewarding and safe environment.